Calvin Coolidge once said that teaching is one of the most noblest of professions. It requires adequate training, devotion, patience, and a deep sense of responsibility. You wonder why it requires adequate training and preparation. It's because of the nature of children. They always say, don't worry that children are listening to you, worry that children are always watching you. I believe that children learn more from your actions than they do from your words. In their adolescence, it is their parents and teachers who teach them the rights and wrongs, the do's and don'ts, and most importantly, it is their self worth. This is why Coolidge stressed most on responsibility. I spent most of my childhood in Beijing, and it was not an easy experience for me. I was bullied. It would start from the morning when I got on the school bus and end in the evening when I'd get off the school bus. Everything in between was no different. And every time my parents complained about it, it would get more worse. It was as if the more I wanted to put an end to it, the more it got to me. In grade 8th, I had a Muslim Pakistani teacher. He was inappropriate in his behavior, to say the least. Every time he would come to check my work, he would not only invade my personal space, he would rub his arms and sometimes his back against me. I once even remember it, it's still crystal clear in my memory, and I can still see myself there at that day. He pretended to not hear something I said. He came close to me, and as he saw the changing expression in everybody's face, particularly mine, he said, "Why do you force me to come near you when I don't want to?" That followed the grin of all the other bullies who wanted to slut shame me. When the chapter finally ended, I came to Pakistan and brought my fair share of demons with me. 2 years ago, as fate would have it, the same harassment came to haunt me again. And this misogynist didn't need an excuse to touch us. He would simply touch us by addressing us as his daughters, just walking here and there, giving lustful gazes and saying, "Oh, my daughter, I'm so happy to see you. How were you? Where were you?" And then there's a big hug. And you don't even know what happened to you. Obviously, he was setting a bad example for his students. He was telling them that it's all right to abuse power in the name of humor. Even the teacher who abused me in Beijing gave a subtle approval to all the other bullies that it's all right to continue with my torment. It's no big deal. It's simply manhood. So I don't blame the students who harassed me every day. It was the school's failure. It was their failure to recognize the responsibility of protecting a child. It was their failure of recognizing the responsibility to groom other children to be more compassionate, to be more civilized, and at the least, to be more human. Now I am a girl who is as insecure and as self doubting about herself as she was 5 years ago. I am so insecure to the point that I doubt myself on everything, I blame myself for everything. And this is all because of my teachers who had adequate training and deep sense of responsibility.